Hey everyone, welcome to Interpersonal Communication Online. I am Kristen Ruppert-Leach and I'm your instructor, and I wanted to spend a little bit of time with you going over how to navigate through the course. So this is your home page. Obviously you've gotten to this point already, so there's not a whole lot of confusion here. But just a quick note, any announcements that I put on will be displayed through here and also sent to you in an email. Oftentimes I will provide you with an audio announcement that'll give you a little bit of an overview for a section of the course. So you want to watch out for this section here, this My Announcements, and or monitor your student email so that you can get access to that information. You also have a place to see grades from this as well as other courses. Alert sections for any notifications from this course or any others. Also this to-do section here, which will allow you to see what calendar-wise and due date-wise is up and coming, or is something that you're going to need to keep in mind for in the future, or things that maybe are past due. So that's kind of your entrance here to the course. I wanted to spend a little bit of time going over how the course is set up, a little bit about myself. So I want to start here with the professor details. That way it can give you some basic information about how to get in contact with me. So I am the chair of Languages, Philosophy, and Communication Arts, which means that I lead these three departments. So if you have questions about any of those, I'm the one that you would likely come to after you've spoken with your professor. Now I'm also an associate professor of Communication Arts, primarily with speech, public speaking, and interpersonal communication. My office is in the second floor of the Liberal Arts Building on the Belleville campus, and you can reach me at this number here. I would recommend that you either stop by or email me before you go sending any phone calls or voicemails or anything like that, because I'm not always on campus and I can get back to you a lot faster that way. There's a little bit about myself here. Just a quick note, I have a bachelor's degree in mass communication, a master's degree in speech communication, and I'm almost done with a doctorate in education. And on a personal note, I have dogs, and I'm a big fan of anything sci-fi, fantasy. I'm especially a fan of the Harry Potter series just because it's so iconic. And it happened in such a unique point in time. So I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff. That's a little bit about me. If you want to check out office hours, they're always available in the same tab, as well as successful ways to approach an online course. Now, I have been teaching online since 2008, so I've been doing this for quite a long time. So I highly recommend that if you have questions, that you ask them right away so that you don't find yourself behind. And take a look at this so you can kind of see what to consider for the rest of the course and how to kind of keep yourself on track. There's also an example of APA material, how to create a paper, make citations. I'm not real strict on that for this class, but it might be something that you find helpful for you in the future. So that's a little bit about me. Let's take a look at the syllabus and schedule. Now, I have a couple of things available to you in terms of scheduling, so we're going to take a look at that first. Now, as far as how the course is laid out, this is an 8-week course, which means that you will have 8 weeks of content. I have divided those 8 weeks into 2 units. So you're going to work on 1 unit for the first 4 weeks and the second unit for the second 4 weeks. And this is laid out for you by due date. So whenever something is due, this is the week, the unit it's in, and the week that unit is, as well as what content is due during that week. So each of these is set up by week. Now, in addition to that, I have the course schedule by content. So I'm going to pull that up for you here, and you can kind of see, well, for Unit 1, the due dates for these assignments are as follows. Now, they're not specific to the exact date, that's on the date one, but it does give you kind of an overview of when and where things are due. Okay, so those are the course schedules. Let me open up the syllabus here and talk to you about that a little bit. Gives you some of my information, my direct line here at the campus, as well as a link to or a place to access my email. This is where I would recommend contacting me more than anything else. Send an email to this email address. It is also right here up where it says email. So you can do it either way, but I would recommend you email before you go trying to call, just in case you need access to me sooner rather than later. Now the course is basically about how we communicate, why we communicate in certain ways, and how we communicate between ourselves and other people. So we're going to look at a number of topics throughout these units and address some of them through application to our own experiences, to conceptual ideas, as well as to popular media. So this is a list of our course objectives, so take the moment to sort of look at that at your leisure. I want to go through some of the other material here, beginning first with the textbook/course materials that you're going to need. I do not use a formal textbook in this class. Instead, I ask that you purchase two things, or borrow two things, depending upon your preference. One is the book Mindset, The New Psychology of Success by Dr. Carol Dweck. It's a small book, doesn't take a whole lot of time to read, and it is extremely inexpensive. So you can borrow it from your library, or you can go to our bookstore and purchase it there. I think it's somewhere around $12 to $15, not very expensive. You can also get it used or new on Amazon or Bookfinder. In addition, it might be more difficult for you in terms of reading and writing notes, but you could also get it in audio format. I have read the hard copy twice and listened to the audiobook numerous times, so it may be a benefit to you to go to audible.com and get it for free if you're new to it, or go to your local library and see if you can borrow the audiobook. Either way. So that's the only book you need to have for the class. As far as other media goes, I do ask that you purchase or have access to one of these films. Now you're going to choose at least one. You can do more than one, but most people will just pick one. And they are popular films, popular media that you will use to apply course content. So the options you have here are Gran Torino, and that one is kind of a rough movie. It's really good, but it is rough, so be prepared if that's one of your issues. If you're uncomfortable with a lot of uncomfortable topics. But it does apply really well for this course, so it might be something to consider. Also, The Pursuit of Happiness is another really good one that applies really well as Freedom Riders. Now, the other option on here is since I myself am a sci-fi fan and fantasy fan, I wanted to put that as an option. So I actually have two on here, and that is Doctor Strange, which is a 2016 movie, or you can go with, and it's not on here right now, but it should be in the course, you can go with the film X-Men First Class. It has to be X-Men First Class, and take a look in the course. You should be able to see which one I'm referring to. But those two are options for you as well, but they're not available through our bookstore. You would have to get them on Netflix or borrow them from your local library or something similar. Or Amazon, rent it for $1.99 or $2.99. So those are your options. If you choose one of these three, you can get it at the bookstore, so you can use your money that you have for your courses and your course material. You can use that through the bookstore to get any one of those three. Otherwise, you need to either borrow or find Doctor Strange or X-Men First Class somewhere else. Now, this is the layout of the assignments that you're going to be looking at. We have 2 units in this course, and each unit requires you to watch and take notes on lectures, participate in a discussion, and then take an exam and complete an assignment/project, however you want to label it. So here's what these look like. So you're going to watch lectures. I've actually created videos of all the content. So everything that you need will be available to you through those videos and through the Mindset book. Now you'll watch those. There's a series of short videos, and you'll take good notes for each of those. So there will be 4 total lectures, or sections, I guess, 2 for each unit, and they will be worth the points that you need in order to achieve full points for this course. In addition, you're going to actually, just to recap, you're going to take notes for each of these. You will want to put in notes of what you're hearing, as well as notes that express some of your personal applications. So how you see this applying to your personal or professional life. And that would give you what you need for these points to be available. So you're going to have those in there and submit those via Blackboard, and a couple of different options are available to you with that. You can either submit them via images of hard copy notes, and you'll hear more about this in the Unit 1 overview, or you can submit them via typed up notes. So we'll talk about that in the other video for Unit 1. You will also have discussions that you're going to do for each unit. They need to be substantial, and I'll go over that as well in the Unit 1 video, but it is pretty much an overview of the content that you have read and watched in each unit. And you will need to respond to other people within the course as well. Then you will have unit exams, which are mostly true, false, and multiple choice, but tend to have at least one, sometimes two, full essay-based questions. So these are pretty substantial in terms of how they work out in terms of points. So make sure that you are ready and prepared for those exams. And again, I'll go over that when we get to the Unit 1 video. In addition to that, you're going to have unit application assessments. So each unit, you will apply that content to the film, and they increase in point values between units 1 and 2. The first unit application assessment is worth 80 points, and the second one is worth 100 points. And I'll talk to you again more about that as we get into it. So there's additional information here as you need, just kind of giving you an overview of the point value, as well as how to attend, quote, attend an online class, which means you need to regularly submit all your assignments. So please keep track of what is due when, so that you can have your work submitted on time. If you don't submit assignments 2 weeks in a row that they are due, I do have the right to withdraw you from the course. I withdraw on both the first roster and the midterm roster. So anything that happens prior to those points, I will withdraw if I need to. Otherwise, if you would like to withdraw at the end after midterm roster or first roster, which is usually weeks 2 and 4 for an 8-week class, if you choose to withdraw after that, that's completely up to you, and you will need to withdraw. I'm not going to do that. So please make sure that if you disappear from the course, you need to take care of it. You need to withdraw yourself. Otherwise, it'll just be whatever grade you would have achieved for not submitting those assignments. There is additional information here, some access to Disability and Access Center, some content about ethical conduct and such, a little bit about the course schedule and where to get it, as well as other things. So take a look at these at your leisure and try to make sure you are familiar with where to get everything. That is the basics for this course. There will be other videos that tell you a little bit about each unit, so I will go through that and give you kind of the broad overview, but this is a place to get you started. If you have questions, let me know, and have a great start of the semester.